Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GZTV. We are here with the NBA recaps. Now, again, I wasn't able to cover Saturday, February 8th's games, so we're gonna do those, and we're gonna do a couple of the games they had before the Super Bowl today, Sunday, February 9th. I'm gonna try, guys. I still have a Spider-Man video I'm gonna be recording, ranking all the movies. I was asked to do that, so I really want to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a trade deadline video. I think we're just going to kind of trudge forward into other territories. I know I should talk about that. Like, that's high controversy, but throughout the games and as things happen over here, we will definitely talk about some stuff. But we have the Pacers and the Lakers, the Spurs and the Magic. That was a good game. And then we have the Pelicans and the Kings from Saturday, and then we're going to move on to a couple of games from Sunday. So let's get on with the Pacers and the Lakers. Austin Reaves scores a career-high 45, and the Lakers shocked the Pacers by 7 without LeBron James and Luka Doncic. So this is fucking awesome. I love it. One of the best games we've seen Austin Reaves have in his young career, and he might be that fucking guy. I mean, it's going to be really hard to tell when LeBron and Luka come back, how well this guy plays. He could potentially be that guy. Again, no LeBron, no Luka, doesn't matter. They come out and win. Austin Reaves carries a load, and it really shows that he could probably go to a different team and average 20 to 25 points a game and maybe not lead them to the most success. But he's proved that he can be an offensive guy, Really good game here. Jordan Goodwin had some nice shots. But yeah, Austin Reaves, turning defense into offense, playing really well on both sides of the ball. Just tough shot after tough shot throughout this game. And you look at the Raptors, and really all they had in this game was Pascal Siakam going for 23 points. They weren't really up to much. Not a great game from Andrew Nembhard. A very low-light game for him. Obviously they have Obi Toppin and Jarris Walker and Aaron Nesmith, TJ McConnell, Ben Shepherd. They have a really good bench. The Pacers have one of the stronger benches in the league, I think. But, man, Andrew Nembhard has to be on top of his game if you're going against a guy that puts up 45 points. And, yeah, that's what they get out of Austin Reaves. And not just that, Rui Hachimura put up 24. He shot 67% from three. Very efficient scoring night for both of those guys. Those could be some really dope pieces to put around LeBron and Luka, and we see them kind of proven in this game. So that's obviously great. We're going to move on to the Spurs and the Magic game, though, as Paolo Banchero makes a late go-ahead shot. The Magic hold off the Spurs. They win by a point. Paolo Banchero's 15-foot shot put Orlando ahead with 24.7 seconds left in the game. They played mostly from behind, and Victor Wembanyama missed a mid-range jumper in the final seconds. The Magic held on. They beat the Spurs. Obviously, both of these teams need to win because these are two teams that really started the season off well and just kind of started to fall off a cliff a little bit here. But yeah, man, Paolo Banchero being the hero, being the franchise player that the Magic have wanted him to be, of course, this game. Anthony Black getting up there showing his athleticism. Really fun game. Two really young teams that are still trying to find an identity in the league. They're two quality franchises, but they really need to piece something together here. Stephon Castle was hitting tough shots. Obviously, Jonathan Isaac, guys like him for the Magic were using his athleticism to get going. But you look at the Spurs, 21 points for Harrison Barnes. He shot 70% from three. Really good game for him. 25 points for Devin Vassell, who shot 75% from three. Not the greatest game for Chris Paul. And again, I think Chris Paul just needs to get out of there. They have young guys. They have Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan. They have a really good young core that kind of come off the bench. I don't really like Chris Paul on this team anymore, especially now that you have De'Aaron Fox there. And yeah, De'Aaron Fox didn't play good either, but that's because he has to share the floor with Chris Paul, and you have 2 point guards in the backcourt. Something about it, I don't really know. You look at the Magic, 33 points and 12 rebounds for Franz Wagner. Fantastic performance off of 50% shooting. You get a 20-point performance for Anthony Black, who made all 3 of his threes that night. Really efficient scoring for the youngster there. I think he's like 20 right now. Kind of wild. He's 21. But, yeah. Him and Franz Wagner play well, and obviously Paolo Banchero didn't play the greatest. He didn't have a highlight game, but he played good when it mattered. So there you have it for that game. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Pelicans and Kings, where we see some more of Zach LaVine playing on his new team. Domantas Sabonis had 27. The Kings rallied from 20 down. They beat the Pelicans by 5. The Pelicans just can't catch a break. They can't. Having a historically terrible season, one of the worst seasons I've seen their franchise have, and they've had some dark years. This is bad, man. Yeah, Domantas Sabonis, great scoring, great rebounding. You know, he's one of the best traditional big men in the league, and he continues to get left out of all-star talks. I know he's not a definitive all-star, but my goodness, that guy puts in work. He is a glue guy. He is there when you need him, and they overcome a huge deficit to start the game, and obviously the Pelicans just continue to lose. So, yeah, man, Zion put up 40 fucking points and they couldn't win this game. I don't really know. You know, he got up there. He was using his athleticism, being a lob threat. Really fun game here. Yeah, if we're talking about the Pelicans, it really was all Zion. I mean, tough shots. Obviously, CJ McCollum could kind of throw in some threes. He played really well, but I don't think the Pelicans played horrible, man. I mean, 40 points for Zion, 31 points for CJ McCollum, 20 points for Trey Murphy III. It's just they have guys like Reaves Missy in the starting lineup, and I love this. I love him as a rebounder. I think he's great, but he is not an offensive player, and they need offense on this team, especially now that they got rid of Brandon Ingram. You know, they have Matt Kavik, and they have Brandon Boston, and they have Antonio Reeves. I mean, they have some solid guys off the bench, but it's like, how are you going to play 32 minutes, shoot 1 for 6 from the field? Again, I love the rebounding, and I think he can have a history, or he could have a future in the league as like a Andre Drummond type of player, but I don't know. Who the hell? Karlo Matkovic. That's interesting. Kings, I mean, 27 points, 16 rebounds for Domantas Sabonis off of 33% three-point shooting. You get 22 points for Zach LaVine, and I think his second game as a King, he shot 50%. They reached the 500 hump. That's a pretty awesome thing for the Kings because they were kind of struggling to do that. So now it's going to be interesting seeing how they move forward with LaVine and the guys. But moving on to Sunday, we have the Raptors and the Rockets, and then we have the Sixers and the Bucks to talk about, and then that will be the video. Raptors, Rockets, sorry about my ringtone. Dillon Brooks scores 19. The Rockets snap a 6-game skid. They win by 7 over the Raptors. That's hard to believe. The Rockets just got done losing 6 games in a row. I mean, solid scoring for both Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green. None of these guys really did anything spectacular. I think it was more of a team win. And those are good. Those are good wins to have if you want to have success in the playoffs and you want to build up a franchise, But yeah, Dillon Brooks, really tough shots. Fun game to watch here. I mean, Jeff Green, as old as he is, he's still getting up and throwing it down. And Thompson playing really good defense. Jeff Green, man, he actually had some really good minutes off the bench, like for how old he is. I love seeing that. You look at the Raptors, I mean, Emmanuel quickly had 20 points. He shot 33% from 3, but that's really about it for them. Obviously, it is unfortunate that Grady Dick went out with an injury. You look at the bench, I mean, Chris Boucher, Jameson Battle, Orlando Robinson, Jamal Sheed, Jacoby Walter. They have some decent pieces, man, but it really sucks to lose Grady Dick that early in the game. I don't know, man. That was unfortunate. I mean, the Rockets obviously 11 points, 10 rebounds for Jock Landale off of 50% shooting. That's really the only big positive they had. But again, they got the win. They played really good team basketball. There's not much to really complain about here, as we are going to move on to the Sixers and the Bucks to kind of close out our slate of games here. Damian Lillard leads the way as the Bucks beat the Sixers by 8 without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Obviously, the Sixers continue to just go down a downward spiral, just not being able to win basketball games. Yeah, man, great game for Damian Lillard, though. One of the best games we've seen him all year. Great scoring, solid passing, solid rebounding, just doing a little bit of everything, being that number one option and stepping in that role. It's awesome. We've known him to do that on the Trailblazers, but there you go. Powering the Bucks to victory. It's awesome. Bobby Portis had a nasty three-pointer. Bobby Portis, man. Dame putting the moves on people. Gary Trent Jr. hitting timely shots. I mean, it all kind of fell into place. And this was a big thing going around the NBA. Shout out to Hubie Brown. He had his last broadcast. He was like a big broadcaster for the Bucks. So he went out and they won. So that's pretty cool. You look at the Sixers. I mean, Joel Embiid, 27 points, 12 rebounds. He shot 50%. You get 39 points for Tyrese Maxey, who's been absolutely killing this year. 50% three-point shooter. Justin Edwards. Why is Justin Edwards in the starting lineup when you have Jared Butler, Quentin Grimes, and Gershon Yabusele clearly showing that they could start on this team over Justin Edwards? Now, I respect Justin Edwards out of KSU. He had a really dope college career, but, man, come on. This guy is a borderline G League player. I'm not even trying to be a casual right now. Put Yabusele, put Quentin Grimes, put Jared Butler in the damn starting lineup. Put one of those guys there. I mean, what are we doing right now? I don't know. You look at the Bucks. I mean, 43 points for Dame. That is fantastic. 18 points, 13 rebounds for Bobby Portis off the bench, who shot 67% from three, 50% overall. You get 23 points out of Gary Trent Jr. So, I mean, they got some guys. They got some guys that can fill the pieces. So, just kind of looking ahead for the Monday games. Pretty hyped for Timberwolves Cavs. I think that's going to be a really good game. Celtics have another tough game with the Heat. That should be interesting. The Warriors play the Bucks on NBA TV. The Kings play the Mavericks. Obviously Luka is going to be hopefully playing his first game of this on the Lakers at 9:30 tomorrow night against the Jazz. It's obviously not the most hyped up matchup in the world, but going to be interesting watching some of those games tomorrow. I think Kings and Mavs will be a really fun game as well. So if any of those games are close, you can tune into the channel, but I am out. I'm going to go record a Spider-Man video